guys, it's Laurie from Quick Start Craft. Welcome back to the channel. Today's Tuesday process video is actually a twofer because it's a process video, but it's also the reveal of the December Challenge Yourself Scrapbook Challenge. And the theme is anything goes. So that means you can literally do whatever you want on your scrapbook layout. There's nothing specific that you have to include aside from a photo of yourself somewhere on the layout. So for this one, I decided I was going to take a bunch of scraps, leftover papers, and embellishments from my November Best of Both Worlds kit and kind of, the kit is, Chamel puts it together, but this is also kind of inspired by her. She does a lot of half-page layouts where she combines two different pattern papers and uses that as the background for the page. So that's kind of where what I'm doing here is inspired by. And it worked really well because I had these larger pieces of leftover pattern paper, and I just taped them together so that they made a 12 by 12 solid piece of paper. And then the rest of the papers I had, again, like just other pieces that were cut down to smaller sizes, and they're going to work really well on what I'm about to do here. So that's just a little branding strip. I just felt like there needed to be a little bit of something to better help connect the two pattern papers a little bit. And then I'm going to do something that you have seen me do before, 4 photos and kind of creating their own, each photo like has its own matted patterned papers and embellishments, almost like I'm doing 4 different photo clusters. So that's the idea that's going on here. And of course I had 4 4x6 photos. They were not all going to fit on the one page. And originally I actually have a 5th photo that is not making it on this layout. I will do a separate page for that one. But originally I was going to make this be a 2-pager. And at the time I didn't have enough supplies to do a 2-pager. I hadn't broken into my December kit yet, and obviously the December kit is a little bit more like holiday themed, and these are photos from summer 2020, actually when we had a tropical storm come through. So I needed something that would be a little bit more general. So instead of doing the 2-pager, I decided to just keep it to 1 page, cut down the photos to about 4 by 4, and make it work, right? So I'm here just trying to figure out, and there was really no specific plan for this aside from I'm going to put the photos here and I'm going to put some stuff behind them. So I just grabbed, random leftover bits of paper and started matting the photos and started finding papers that I could put behind the photos to create, a lot of layers of pattern paper here. And at some point, I kind of have everything laid out, and I'm like, I'm not going to know when I'm finished until I just start adhering things to the page. And, I use repositionable double-sided adhesive, and I like that because if I put something down and I'm like, oops, I don't really want it here, or I make a mistake, I can easily peel it back up and move it around. And for the most part, as long as you're using quality paper, for the most part, it's not going to mess up the paper. And if it does, if it tears the paper a little bit, just put an embellishment on top, That's my advice. So here again, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do here. Some of the photos do have a matte back. Some of them will not. And then those embellishments are Pink Fresh, and they are very fall themed. But I was able to find a few that were could be more general, like the one that says thankful. We were thankful that we, got takeout a couple nights because we lost power from the tropical storm. And it's hard to see me in the photo, but that very top photo on the left, I am in it. It is a selfie that I took of myself trying to read a book by flashlight. A couple years ago for Christmas, my dad got me this headlamp, and I guess it was ideally, if you're doing a repair or anything where you need both of your hands free, or it will be helpful to have both of your hands free, then you wear this headlamp and it keeps your hands free to do whatever you need to do, look wherever you need to look. And so it's really come in handy. I use it a lot, not necessarily to do like repairs or house stuff, but I like to use it when I'm like getting up in the morning, nobody else is awake. I just use this little headlamp to find my way down the hallway. Comes in handy when you need to read a book and you have no power in the house. So I would recommend looking into getting one. And it's battery powered, but I had it for many years before I actually needed to replace the batteries. So anyway, little tip there. I'm just kind of rearranging the clusters because I realized that the two that I had on the left-hand side were very similar, and the two on the right-hand side were very similar. So I wanted them to kind of be at opposites on the diagonal. So I'm just moving them around. And here's kind of where I'm like, I'm just going to have to start putting stuff down. And that, everybody has different techniques for how they scrapbook and the way that they like to do things. And sometimes I place everything and then I adhere. In the case of this, I wasn't going to know like what other embellishments that I should use or where to put the title until I just started piecing everything down. So I'm inking all the edges of everything. So all the pattern paper, the photos, they're all going to have the inked edge, just black inked edge with the Hampton Art ink pad. And you could use a dauber, I guess they're called, or whatever you prefer to use. But I like to not have to messy up a dauber if I don't have to. And these are all just straight lines, so using the ink pad itself is really easy to do. And it's actually a very ergonomic ink pad, I have to say. I don't know where my train of thought was going after that. So, I'm starting to adhere. And then I realized, and this is like every scrapbooker's worst nightmare, I realized that I'm running out of adhesive. And I'm like, no. So if you watched my December haul video, this is actually the layout that I was talking about when I said I was in the middle of making one and I ran out of double-sided squares. It's really sad. So yeah, I didn't get to finish it that same day. I had to wait. I had actually ordered some more, so I had to wait for them to arrive. They came the next day, and then the following day, so 2 days later, I was able to finally complete this layout. So right now I'm just, trying to, sometimes when I run out of adhesive or I know I'm running low, I like to cut the squares in half because you get, a lot more from the box. So here's my brand new box, and I think I was using like Scotch brand before. I got that at Michael's, but if you order from like Amazon, they have scrapbook adhesives, that company name, and they have mounting squares. You can get 1,000 pieces, 1,000 squares in one box, so it's a really good deal. And so here I am ready to finish things up. Like I said, this is the December Challenge Yourself Challenge. All you have to do is make sure there's a photo of you somewhere on the page. Usually every month there is a specific theme. We've done stamps, we've done shapes, we've done scrapbooking about face masks. So this one is just whatever you want to do. So I think it's perfect for the month of December because everybody's really busy with holiday things. Maybe you're trying to get other scrapbook projects completed like a December daily, and you want to participate in a challenge, but you're like, you just don't want to be tied down and have to overthink it. So this is a perfect challenge for the month of December. And they did an Anything Goes challenge last December as well. And so I'm sure there's going to be an Anything Goes December challenge for next year too. And you will be still hearing from me about the Challenge Yourself challenges going forward in 2022 because I am still going to be on the design team. It's been really fun, and there are a lot of really creative scrapbookers who are on the design team. We've got some new people this year. And so I encourage you to check out what everybody else is creating at the link in the description box below. So I realized as I was going back through and watching this video that I had put that little light blue square piece behind, I put it in the wrong place. That wasn't originally where I had wanted it. It was supposed to go on top of the photo behind the word thankful. But when you start a layout and then 2 days later you finish it, you kind of forget these things, right? So I think I liked it better where I had originally placed it, but whatever, it's down and I'm not going to move it and whatever. But this is what I'm talking about with the double-sided adhesive squares. Everything was over too far, and I needed to get that other piece of pattern paper onto the page. Now, the top cluster on the left-hand side does go off the page a little bit, and I will cut the edges off, but I didn't really want this side to go off, although I guess I could have, because that would have been kind of like a mirrored thing. So it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. But anyway, as I was creating this layout, I was like, no, it has to be on the page. Nothing can go off the page. But yeah, maybe if I like do this exact design again next time, I would allow the bottom right cluster to go off the page. But yeah, these are just things that you think about. I'm very big on not overthinking the scrapbooking. So even though I'm like, oh, I wish I had done this differently, in the moment when you're scrapbooking, don't overthink. If you like the way something looks, just put it down. You can always change it later. It's no big deal. So now I'm just adding in my journaling. I did have to look up the name of the tropical storm because, of course, that it happened, 2 summers ago. I had no recollection of what it was called. So I'm just adding a little bit of journaling there, and then there are some spots going behind the top right photo where I'm going to do a little bit of captioning for some of the photos, just to like explain what's going on, that we were eating takeout, that we were trying to charge our phones on computers because we didn't have the power outlets working. So, and then off camera, I ended up adding a title. I don't put a title here, duh. So I just named it Isaias, and you'll see in the close-ups that was added in. And I also added just a few sequins because I felt like there needed to be something else, and I didn't really have as much like regular embellishments that I felt were really a good fit. So yeah, but that all happens off camera. But like I said, the close-up photos are going to follow, and you'll be able to see kind of what they look like there. And then the final photo, you'll be able to see what the whole thing looks like when I've totally completely finished it. So I encourage you to play along with the challenge this month. Let me know if you have any questions about the products I used or the techniques in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!